Hi guys and welcome to Crazy Burger. So in this video we're going to be looking at some new retro indie games that are going to be part of the Magfest or Super Magfest that's been held in the States this weekend at the time of this video in Washington DC. Now these games, you might recognise a few of the games like Skate Cat for instance and Witch and Wiz are already on Evercade or coming very soon. There's also other stuff like Asti Bros that you'll obviously recognise as part of Evercade. But in this video I'm going to be playing through a few of the games that are part of the sort of finalists, if you will, for this year's festival. Now we might see a few of these games in future collections, maybe from Indie Heroes, maybe even Mega Cats. It really depends who's picking up the licensing. I think the games I'm playing are most likely going to be part of Indie Heroes in future. I'm not saying they're all good quality, some of them certainly differ, but if you compare them to the games we already had on Indie Heroes Collection 2 and 3, you'll probably recognise that the quality is pretty similar. I think a lot of the games have been made through the sort of GB Studio or NES Maker, and some of them are very good, but the quality does differ quite a bit. But in this video I'm going to be playing through a handful of them and I'll let you know my opinions as we go. Now without further ado, let's get stuck into the video. So the first game we're looking at is Annihilator. This is a Game Boy Color game. The best way to describe this, it's a cross between Xeno Crisis and Smash TV. So it's that single screen, clear all the enemies type of thing with some boss battles thrown in here and there as well. It's got a nice story here, it's a very nice introduction, and then you're sort of chucked into the main game. Now it's not got as many enemies on screen as you would probably expect. It is a Game Boy game, so probably not as many sprites can appear at the same time in comparison to maybe Xeno Crisis or Smash TV from the arcades or the Mega Drive version. But it's quite good fun to play, it's not too bad at all, and certainly a possibility we could see this at some point on Evercade. I would probably suggest it would be part of an Indie Heroes collection. Maybe we'll see it as part of Game of the Month through 2024. Okay, the next game is another Game Boy Color game. This is Cosmo Night Zion, and it's kind of like a run and gun style game. And it felt a little bit basic to me. There's some nice effects. There was a nice intro in the game as well, but the sort of enemies felt a little bit glitchy, and they do tend to reappear and just zone back in after you've defeated them. So it certainly could be related to the fact it's a demo version we're playing, so the final quality could vary, but it's okay. It was decent enough fun, and we've certainly seen some games like this on Evercade that are pretty basic and fun, maybe for 20-30 minutes until you actually finish them. This game is alright, it's not amazing. Whether we'll see this on Evercade, I'm not entirely sure, but it's not too bad. So this one is Fall from Space on the Game Boy, and you play a robot who has fell from space, obviously, and you need to try and figure out what's happening, what your background is, where you came from, and it's an RPG style game with some basic combat. I really like the look of this game. It certainly intrigues me. The story is pretty cool. The interaction RPG elements are really well done, and I think this one could have potential. Fingers crossed that we see this on Evercade, maybe through Indie Heroes Collection 4 through 2024. Let's hope so. This is Fire and Rescue on the NES, and it's a single screen game where you need to rescue the sort of people from the burning house. You've got this backpack full of water, which is kind of Super Mario Sunshine style thing, and it runs out, so you need to refill it at the hydrant at the start of the level there. And you can only rescue one sort of person at a time, take them back to the start of the level, and then obviously put out all the fires, finish the stage, move on to the next one. I really like this one. It is very cool. I think this might be a demo version because it does get a little bit glitchy here and there, but I really like the idea of this. It's very cool. I'd hope to see this on Evercade at some point. That would be really, really cool. So this is another Game Boy Color game. This is Inspector Waffles Early Days. Probably one of the best game names I've ever heard. Absolutely brilliant. And a lot of the other characters also have sort of foodie style names, which is pretty funny and quite amusing as well. But I don't really think it's for kids. I'm pretty sure I've seen some swear words here and there in the game. But anyway, it is pretty cool. I like the idea of it. It's an RPG style game. You're obviously a detective. You need to solve the crimes that's going on in the game. But I like the design of it, it's fantastic, and this one would be perfect for Evercade. It's really cool. So this one is Nightmare the Ninth King, and I'm pretty sure it's another Game Boy Color game as well. And it's another platformer slash 'em up. This one's probably better than the last one in the start of the video. I enjoyed this one a lot more, but it is pretty tough. It's quite hard to judge the different enemies and the sort of jumping as well. Gets a little bit tricky, but I quite enjoyed it. It's not too bad at all. The graphics seem pretty nice, and it certainly seems to have a lot of effort put into it, so it certainly holds up pretty well. It's pretty decent. So this is Ororo. Factorio, I think that's how you pronounce it. This is an NES game, and it's clearly been inspired by stuff like Res, where it's kind of a music style reacting game, but I don't think it really holds up that well. This is only a demo version, right enough. It seems okay, but just felt very rough to actually play. Maybe it'll be fine-tuned for the final version, maybe not. I'm not sure we'll see this on Evercade, to be honest. So this is Shira and the 40 Thieves on the NES. It's a single screen game where you need to get to the other end where the arrow is sort of pointing upwards. Sometimes you've got keys you need to collect to open the doors. Other times you've just got enemies you need to avoid, traps you need to sort of escape from, and obviously avoid all the things that are getting chucked at you, such as the knives from this extremely annoying bad guy. Really frustrating, but I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was pretty decent. It's got a lot of promise. Fingers crossed this comes to Evercade. I think it would be really cool. Even though it was a little bit frustrating, pretty difficult at times, I still enjoyed it because I just kept coming back and playing it over and over again. It has that kind of addictive quality to it. I think it's very good. So this game is called Super Banana, and pretty simple single screen game on the NES, where you need to collect all the bananas and move all the crates onto the X's at the bottom of the screen. And this one is completely up my street. It's a puzzle style game, and I found it really cool, very addictive stuff. And I'm hopeful that this will come to Evercade. This one would be fantastic. And we've got some similar games on Evercade like this before. Maybe the closest would be Big Too Small. It's the same kind of idea where you need to move the animals onto specific spots, or their food item that they obviously prefer. But this is fantastic. Really enjoy it. I like the artwork, I like the graphics, I like the sound, the music, the style of it. It's really cool. Very well done. It's brilliant. So this is a Game Boy game called Take It Racing 2, and it's a management racing game where you need to obviously soup up your cars and try and obviously win the races and make progress that way. It's pretty cool. It's very different to anything else out there, and most of the management games I've played are usually football management games, so if you like that sort of thing you might enjoy this, but I think most people will probably find it very boring to actually play through. But it's very well done, it is pretty cool. I'm not sure we'll actually see this in Evercade, but you never know. It's very different to anything else we have on there, so maybe they'll add it, you never know. So this final game is called Total Extinction on the NES, and I like the graphic style of this. It's really cool. However, obviously it's just a demo version, there's not really a lot of point to the actual game here. You're really just a lot of exploring and wandering about without really knowing what to actually do. But anyway guys, let me know what you think. Do you think we'll see any of these games on Evercade? I think it's very possible we could see one or two of them, maybe even three. Obviously it depends what Blaze have got up their sleeve. But they have obviously pulled a lot of the games from this sort of Magfest before, such as Roneo's Tale, Tanzer, all that type of thing. So it certainly has history there, and it certainly holds a possibility that we could see a few of these games on Evercade collections, most likely Indie Heroes Collection 4, maybe even Mega Cats, you never know. Anyway guys, thanks very much for watching our video. We'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.